war and Trump talk. And we're going to really kick it off tonight with the economy and how much this war is going to be affecting us really down the line.
Yo.
We've all heard gas prices are going up, but the ripple effects from the war in the Middle East are spreading far and wide.
It's a definite shock to the system. When one of your main products that you need goes up 47% in 2 weeks, it's hard to digest that.
Farmers are fuming over fertilizer. The Middle East is a major supplier, and now, because of reduced shipments, some farmers worry they could face an extra $100,000 in fertilizer costs this season.
I think you'll see some farmers switch some corn acres to bean acres, and I haven't pulled that trigger and decided to do that yet, but I'm sure thinking about it.
Gas prices are up 92 cents per gallon in the last month, but diesel rising even faster, up $1.33 per gallon, driving up transportation costs.
I'm not a truck driver, I'm a construction worker, but it all flows the same, right? So cost of diesel goes up, everything goes up.
That means higher prices at the grocery store. And new data shows wholesale prices were already rising before
I thought
the
this shit's
war.
supposed to be getting
For
better.
example, vegetable prices were up 48% last month compared to the same time last year. Vice President J.D. Vance says high prices stemming from the war are only a temporary blip. And he says the Trump administration is taking action.
We're working on a number of things. In fact, a couple of things that I think will be announced in just the next 24 to 48 hours. I don't want to get ahead of the president on that, but we recognize this is an issue.
Everything from airfare to Uber rides will be affected by these higher oil and gas prices. One analyst says if gas prices stay this high for 1 year, a typical household will spend an extra $1,100.
Well, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I mean, you got to think a lot of these households aren't bringing in 20, 30,000 a year. You know, and but they sit there and tell you that 100,000 ain't even enough money to make it through. So a year with a household taking care of a family. So what are we going to war for when we know that it's going to hurt our economy and hurt our middle class? All these people are hardworking Americans trying to, you know, and this is just one part. This is just the heartland, I'm pretty sure, or you know, the farmers of America, and look how much they're getting hurt by this war. We're not even talking about the people that don't even have jobs. We're not even talking about the unemployed.
And this shit just getting started.
And it's just getting started.
So imagine what it's gonna be like 2 to 3 months from now. Because diesel prices.
Did you hear what your president said though, Mel Socrates? He said short-term oil prices, which will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over, is a very small price to pay for USA and the world's safety and peace. Only fools would think differently. President DJT.
Literally coming at.
No, go ahead, no.
Yeah, literally coming at his own citizens. Literally coming at the people that he's supposed to be serving. This is, now we got to remember what Trump ran on. Trump ran on no wars, focusing on the economy.
Lower food prices, lower gas
food prices,
bringing the housing market back
down. Yeah,
and
that was his whole. Even if you're in the crypto, he even went over to the big crypto conference that was talking to the Bitcoin guys, telling them he's gonna make sure your crypto goes up. And then he went and dropped the meme coin, a token himself, and made billions and then crashed the market. So it seems to me his whole thing is to finesse as much money out of the economy as possible. That is what Trump is doing, because you're doing a total opposite of what you said you're gonna do, and you've made billions of dollars while you've been president.
Tell them what they want to hear while I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's his model.
Well, we go back to Congressman Thomas Massey. He says bombing a country on the other side of the globe won't make the Epstein files go away. Also, Do you guys know that a lot of people dealing with the space program or dealing with the unidentified flying objects and scientists who were into all that stuff, a lot of these people coming up missing?
Yeah, you saw the two hikers. Well, they wasn't hikers, but two people hiking that was involved in that stuff has come up missing now.
Yeah.
The lady, I can't remember her name. I have to go back and look it up. But she was with two friends and she just went missing without a sound. Like, so did the aliens get her? She just disappeared while she was with somebody. So, they're like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
That also just happened to some student on spring break in Spain or somewhere overseas, one of the European countries, but just vanished without a trace. But specifically, these scientists and these people who kind of have inside knowledge of working with the government are, just gone.
Vanishing in there without a trace, leaving stuff that they will need and use on an everyday basis at home. Like that general or whatever he was, he left his glasses and he can't see without them. So what the fuck he walked too blind?
Definitely sounds like a abduction to me, kidnapping to me. That doesn't sound like some people that are that high up in government at very high ranking positions in a very unique expertise. Somebody of that type of intelligence is going to leave their glasses behind. So yeah, definitely some funny business going on there. But it's just like Joe Kent, the ex counterterrorism head of counterterrorism. He was all gun-ho. We had a show about that last night. That he was so gun-ho about being there for Trump in Iran, or not Iran, but being there for Trump through his presidency and being MAGA all the way. And then when Iran happened, he just said, "No, I can't get down with that. We don't have a, I'm taking it. He feels like there's no real plan, and he can't execute his role in counterterrorism by the way that they went into Iran." So he left, and now he's being investigated by the FBI. I actually have something for production, man. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get it over to him, but Stephen A. Smith actually had something to say about Joe Kent, because Joe Kent, I guess, had some words for the Jewish community or the Zionists.
Yeah, Joe Kent was straight racist, straight MAGA, even before he got into office, and that's par for the course, because we know that Pete Hegseth was, apparently a white supremacist or affiliated with white supremacist groups, and Joe Kent was also. So it kind of goes with the theme of the place,
Yeah, but when you got these motherfuckers turning against you, bro, you know something ain't right.
Yeah.
They didn't get that man one day to be out of his office. One day. Next day he under investigation.
And we already know who
it's MAGA.
Yeah, and we already know who Trump has placed as the head of the FBI. A man that was coming against him before he even placed him as the head of the FBI. He was literally trying to tell you that Trump was in the Epstein files and all of this. Now
he's just pro-Trump.
And Castansel is pro-Trump, and he's going to be the one going after Joe Kent, because Joe Kent left. So this shows you. I mean, if you're a MAGA right now, if you're a supporter, you still backing Trump through all of this. You got your red America Great Again hat on. You got a couple Budweisers in the refrigerator. You got your flag waving high on your Chevy or your Ford truck. If you don't see what's going on here and you still backing Trump, you're a fool. Because it shows you he will be loyal to somebody that came at him and was kind of destroying him. But if he feels like he can use you, he'll get cool with you And then he'll backstab somebody that 100% was with him because he didn't agree with one decision he made. So Trump is only loyal to himself.
As soon as you disagree with him, boy, you got hell to pay because he coming.
So how
we saw the same thing happen with
too.
Yeah. We saw the same thing happen with the Fed chief Jerome Powell. When he didn't do what Trump wanted him to do, Trump threatened to investigate him, or he did direct the FBI to investigate the guy, find something on him. I don't care, find something.
He didn't care, and now when May comes around, it's speculated that Jerome Powell will be out, and Trump is going to place his guy in there, and they're going to start money printing. See, Jerome Powell went he had a press conference, I think, this past week, and he said that hard times are coming. He's saying that prices, inflation, everything's going to go up because of what's going on with Iran, and everybody needs to prepare for that, and they're not going to be able to cut rates. But we have to realize, has Donald Trump, in his first year going on, about a year and a half of being a president, has he listened to what anybody has to say? He ain't listening to nobody yet. So you mean to tell me that the Federal Reserve is not going to cut rates? When Donald Trump places his new guy in there, they are cutting rates.
Kevin Warsh is going to be the new guy who he's already identified to put him in that chair, and he's a Trump guy. So
he's cutting rates, man. Dude is going to cut rates. They're going to print the money. They're going to put on the money printing machine like they did it during COVID, and they about to run it up. They about to prop the stock market up. That's my opinion. It could be completely, not happening, but Trump hasn't listened to anybody yet.
Trump is doing exactly what he wants to do. He's putting all his people in place, so when the time comes, he can execute his plan of us not having to vote for another president.
That's his main goal. That's always been his main goal.
And think about it, bro. This is what he's doing. He starts stuff with people, bro, just so he can get them out the way. And then as soon as they gone, what he do? Replace them with somebody else that he likes. Somebody else that he wants in that place that agrees with everything that he says and do. This is his whole plan.
Yep.
I don't know if you felt the same secondhand embarrassment that I did when I saw the video of him and the Prime Minister from Japan, the lady. She looked so uncomfortable. Trump totally said the quiet part out loud, and just another soundbite, another day in the life of the President of the United States of America.
Why didn't you tell U.S. allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay?
That was in poor taste. That was just in poor taste, man. Have some kind of class, though. Like, seriously. Noam said it on the previous show. He has no diplomacy. There is no diplomacy with this guy, man. It's funny, but it's sad. It's embarrassing.
He don't care what he say. He don't care who he hurts because he feels like what he says is the only thing that matters. His feelings are the only feelings that matter. You got this woman sitting up here beside you and you say some bullshit like that, bro. And like, you can just see the expression in her body language, the way she sat up when he said it, and the way her eyes got big. She's like, oh, what the fuck? And she probably didn't even understand half of the shit he was saying.
Yeah, she heard that Pearl Harbor, though. She knew what that was.
Exactly.
They said that she a diplomat. She a diplomat from over there. That she definitely knows English. She not, you know what I'm saying? She been in that position. She been groomed for that position for a while, so she definitely knew. Just her eyes told the whole story, bro.
Yep.
And he's dirty. He a dirty motherfucker, bro.
So let's just let's look at it for what it is and why one of the main reasons he was voted and for president. One, we know that a lot of the base of America was not going to vote for a woman, and then we're not going to try to vote for another person of color to be running this country. That's number one. She was a woman, and she was a woman of color. And it's everybody's going to debate, where is she from and this, that, and that, but she was a woman of color, and people in America did not want that. They did not want that representation. Obama was enough for them, so they hit the polls hard to make sure that Trump got reelected again, for another presidency. And then we all know that Biden was used and the Democrats were used to push Trump along to get him back in there as well, and how bad the country was and what the Democrats is doing, such and such, to rile up his base, to get his base to feel that the Democrats were gonna destroy the country and this, that, and the third. So Trump used that as well. But we know the number one thing Trump used was his over-the-topness, which he displayed with that woman from Japan. The over-the-top comments, the brashness, the cockiness, and just feeling like he's untouchable, that he's God in the flesh, and I can do what I want. That's why he was voted president, because people love the entertainment aspect of that. But
I can't wait till I get that age. When I just say the fuck I want to say and don't care.
And that is where Donald Trump gained his vote, because he sung to the heart of the American base that wants to keep their power, or the power they think they have, and give them a image that they feel is supposed to be the image of America. This is why he's the president. So when we see what he's doing and the way that he's doing it, we have to look at ourselves as a country, because we, what I'm saying? Not saying that, whoever you went and voted for, right? But the problem is, if you voted for Trump, it is an image of what you are. And we know that his base has an image of hate. Trump is, he's about hate, bro. He's really pretty much not about anything else. This whole Iran situation, he could have handled it so much better. Nobody is backing him. That he has no help. Nobody there is really trying to be there. Japan came in on the strength, because they've always been with America for real, for a while. But it's crazy that they even sat down with Trump. It's like.
But the allies right now have to be scrambling. You have to be very nervous to be an ally, and you still getting tariffs from your ally. So,
dude, like I said, the hate of his base that put him there is manifesting in the presidency, and they don't want to admit that. On top of all of that, you have the Epstein files for the icing on the cake and the cherry on top. That is like, and then we had the Iran war just started a whole nother thing. That cherry on the top, it's a whole nother situation.
They done rolled out some whole new stuff about this.
I mean, we got a look-alike driving around in Florida. It might be Epstein.
I about to say, there wasn't no damn look-alike.
He said he's Palm Beach Pete. He's not Epstein. He's Palm Beach Pete. But it's funny, he is in Florida, and guess where Epstein's first big cases were at? Florida. His first major case was in Florida.
Yep.
So I feel they almost playing in our face, man. I'm telling you. They playing in our face.
Well, they've been doing it for a long time.
And when I say they, is the elite group of people that run this world, not the governments that are just there, but the elite people in the shadows, in the dark, that are doing what they want to do with the puppets like Donald Trump and even Netanyahu, who we feel is not even here anymore, depending on who you talk to with these videos that have been circling around with Netanyahu.
I think he's gone. The internet can say and feel how they want to feel, and they can try to keep him, I guess, not let the world know that he's really gone because of the powers that they will lose.
Yeah. They definitely will take a hit when it's all the way confirmed. If it actually gets confirmed by everyone that Netanyahu's not here and it's a known thing, Israel is gonna be, I don't know. America's gonna be the one to be picking them up. I mean, Israel is America, and America is Israel. I think people have to look at it that way. You know, we have to look at it that way. Yeah, the money is going over to their physical country, but America's forever gonna be back in Israel. Always.
Israel is resorting to a tactic that President Trump said that he was not cool with them attacking the oil fields in Iran. And of course, in retaliation, Iran did their own strikes on Israel's oil refinery, the biggest one, producing 60% of Israel's total refining capacity. So, hey, when you throw shit, you're gonna get some shit thrown at you. So
Yeah.
it's just not good for business, man.
That's why I don't. Yeah, how you gonna tell somebody in a war what not to do or what they can't do? It's a war. Like, I'm trying to win at all costs. And if me striking your oil fields hurts your economy and puts me a step ahead of the war, why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
Well, I think the president's rationale is to not hurt the civilian population, and hurting the oil infrastructure would definitely hurt the civilian population, I think. So he wants to
it's bombing
keep
schools.
it to the. That is true. That is true. Touche.
Yeah, you can't tell me to be fair and not do this, but then you turn around and do something even worse. Like, so I'm throwing stone for stone.
Yeah. And the way that this whole thing started, how do you think anybody's gonna listen to anybody? You know, that's one of the things that the AI Netanyahu said. I'm gonna say the AI Netanyahu. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna say the AI Netanyahu said is Israel. Everybody's blaming Israel on why America is in this war. He said, "Do you think anybody is going to tell Donald Trump what to do?" So, you know, that's
and right then and there when you knew that video was fake.
Thank you, because we all know that yes, Donald Trump is a puppet, and he's a puppet to Israel. He's doing what they say, and yes, he's taking orders. So I definitely believe that video is an AI generated video.
Did y'all see the sudden missile strike from the reporter, man? That was crazy. That was reportedly out of Lebanon.
Yeah.
But saw that strike coming in.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted.
The reflex.
Imagine your heart right there. Imagine, I mean, whoo, boy. Man.
You will never get me to report nothing else. Never. Fuck this. Get me on a plane and get me out of here. Y'all can keep this shit. Fuck this job. I'm gonna get me killed.
He saw it coming, bro. How lucky, how fortunate for him that he saw it coming.
Well, he definitely has. He's pretty. I would say that reporter. He's out of the UK. He was there in Lebanon reporting. Obviously, those are both U.S. allies. But I would say that he had some experience in those situations. He wasn't green at all in that situation. Because as soon as he heard the missile, he knew. Like, he heard the whistle of the missile. So he immediately looked up as soon as he heard it whistle and knew, hold on, I got to be on point. And then he looked up, and like you said, and saw it. So he was on point. You know.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted.
That motherfucker stopped, and he was like, "Oh, that sounds like it's coming towards me."
Yeah, he was definitely prepared.
Shout out to his reflexes.
Yeah, he was prepared. He didn't look. He wasn't like a deer in the headlights. Like, what's that?
Like, he knew exactly which way to go. Oh wait.
Yeah.
And did he have a cameraman, or was he just had the camera set up on his own? Because the camera just fell on him.
Yeah, I think he just had it set up on his own because you can see him running back across them.
Yeah, he was trying.
You hear all the debris hitting the ground and hitting the camera and hitting around. It's like the power of these weapons of mass destruction, man. And people blowing people up with these. We saw one of the missiles hit one of the buildings in Israel, and a 70-year-old couple were killed. And it's like, can you imagine just being in your damn house in Israel and a damn missile come through the wall?
I mean, they don't know. Once it hit, everything it touches, it destroys. So it'll be a quick one for whoever it hits.
Yeah, it's
like
like
to say, they ain't down. Trust me, they don't even realize they gone.
Man, we got some people ain't feeling none of this war shit, man. And I'm one of them. Cause this shit really, this disrupts everything.
and you see how much more we're in debt. I don't know if we have that drawn up, but man, how much debt that we are racking up and asking for 200 more billion to go into this war, and the economy just tanking some more. And like you said, not feeling this war like so many Americans. So many Americans are not feeling this war. You know, people around the world aren't feeling it. It's only the powers that be within America and Israel that are feeling this war. Iran even wanted to be diplomatic. They wanted to sit down. They wanted to talk. They're willing to do anything to basically make it to where there was no issues. America tried to make it seem that it was about nuclear weapons. They were ready to sit down and they had no issues to do anything with their nuclear weapons. But we struck them because we were told to strike them for Israel. And what Israel has in their spiritual prophecy of taking over the world, they need America to fulfill that. But America.
So that means we got to spend $100 billion a week. Shit, that's gonna get it smashed.
And then, don't you think if Iran had fucking nuclear weapons, they've used them by now?
Hell yeah, they would, boy. They lighting things up. They lighting the whole Middle East up.
You said Americans not feeling it, you know, the allies not feeling it. Man, we got people outside of the world not feeling it.
Man, bro, how you feel about this war shit going on right now?
Man, this cap ass shit, man. That what y'all call a war? Come on, man.
What you mean?
This shit a skirmish or whatever you talking about. This shit a scruffle. This shit all squabble, man. This ain't no war. Nigga ain't war. Nigga, whole solar system, whole planets and shit down. Nigga black out your whole moon, your whole sun, all that. What this here going on, man? This. Y'all ain't doing nothing to nobody, man. Y'all out here just fucking each other up. Like, they easy. Anybody can fight their brother, their sister. Go outside the planet, fight somebody. Y'all fighting folks on y'all same planet. Like, come on, man. I ain't here, man. There ain't no real war. I go to war, get what? But I'm going to war with nigga in quadrant 39, quadrant 99, quadrant 57. See what I'm saying? We taking our whole galaxy, whole solar system. So did what y'all do, y'all neighbors. Come on, man. It ain't nothing about this smooth. Ain't nothing about this cool. Ain't nothing about this smooth. People, gas price about to go up. Folks about to get evicted. All these, man. Y'all talking about fighting each other, man.
So we need to call a truce then.
Huh?
So we need to call a truce, basically.
I mean, really what y'all need to do is get both old leaders in the building to make them folks hit. Y'all catch the one. Whoever win, bruh right, bruh wrong. Situation just dead. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get them folks in there, make them catch the one. That's it.
Say man.
Make them folks hit.
Yeah, get
bruh
both
right, bruh wrong.
My boy said y'all worried about each other on. My boy said y'all worried about each other on Earth. You need to go out. Y'all be in quadrant 36, quadrant 37. You got to black out whole moons and stars. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny though.
Man, people always find a bright spot. Cause that is funny, but you know.
Very true.
And man, or we'll be real fucked up out here.
Yeah, very true on the sense of, well, we know Obama said aliens are real, right? We had that little time before the war had popped off that we were talking about aliens, and obviously, you know, homeboy's is in a costume. He a comedian out of Atlanta. I forget his name. It's not Desi Banks. But yeah, it's not Desi Banks who's actually in the suit though. A lot of people were thinking that it was Desi Banks, but it's not Desi Banks. But the dude funny in the sense that where he's saying, you know, you're fighting your own race of people, as in a human race, and you know, we going back and forth over these certain things for power and for you know, control of the day-to-day things in this world. But there's so many things that's even bigger than what's going on in this world sometimes when you think about it. And so we should be working together to make sure that the world is better. But we know that's not how it works, man. Sad to say, it's just not how this life works, man. There's gonna always be some type of people going at it, some type of battle, some type of war. And it's not always just, you know, physically like this type of war. There are all kinds of things going on. So, yeah, man, I like that.
Push and pull for power.
Yeah, it's always some, even in our day-to-day lives, you know what I'm saying? Not even just on some, you know, big, you know, country against another country thing, you know? It's always something like that in life. But this situation here is just, really just taking a toll on us here in America, because once again, like you said, we're the ones who started this war, and most of the people in America outside of the MAGA and the cult fanatics of Donald Trump aren't rocking with this.
Okay, but think about the people who, and I'm going out of the country here in less than 10 days. So think about the people who are traveling the world and the perception of a American nowadays. Because, you know, they don't know that you didn't vote for Donald Trump. They don't know that you are not in agreement with this war. You are, you know, so it's just that we get grouped into whatever our president and whatever. And I say this from a standpoint of a person who went to war under George W. Bush. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot of parallels I see. Man, it really is crazy. But the people who are traveling abroad, you have to be more aware now, because people hate Americans because Americans starting war. They not you personally as an American, but I mean, you know, it's just
I mean,
the embassies being bombed, people being taken hostage. Like, it's just craziness. Go ahead.
Yeah, especially if you're traveling in that part of the world, because it's not that people have stopped traveling in that part of the world. So many people are still going back to Dubai, even though that's America over there in the Middle East, you would say. But, you know, there's people still traveling in that whole area, in that Middle East area, Northern African area, that are being affected by this. People who have to get up and provide for their families in those areas every day. You know,
and it's becoming more costly to do so.
Yeah, you know, we get up and we're not for this. Most of us aren't for this war, but we can get up, go handle our business, do our day-to-days, and we can think about what's going on, but it ain't really affecting us directly like they're being affected.
No, nothing like that.
Now, we are getting affected directly, but it's more so with our consumption. You know, it's not actual people's lives on the line like it is over there. People's whole lives is on the line. You never know, you know, depending on where you're at, you could get a missile strike, you could get a drone. Like,
we just seen that firsthand.
Yeah, you know, dude's reporting on what's going on, and he hear a whistle, he got to get out the way because he about to get blown up.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Noam. I'm glad you said that, Noam. Last week, was this last week? Man, these days are melting past. There's so much happening every day with this war. But last week, I think the government put out an alert about an increased threat from a drone attack in California specifically, and instantly people went to the internet and said, "I'm not scared of Iran hitting California with any sort of drone activity. I'm afraid that the American government would hit California with and blame Iran."
Exactly. They would literally do a missile strike on their own people and blame somebody else for it.
And we definitely have to look at how the far right, MAGA, Trump, look at California, look at Governor Newsom, and look at the political landscape of California. And then we also know how powerful California is to the United States. I mean, without California and like Texas, I mean, you take those two states away, I mean, America's not what America is.
Yeah, and you said that the states that he is not particularly fond of. We got to remember what our President Donald Trump just did to Minnesota, another liberal state who he's not particularly fond of. You know,
and you got to get it right. That's President Newsom.
Newsom. Yeah.
Don't make that mistake. He's the president. You need to
go. Right. Yeah. The president.
Well, he'll definitely, and that's another part of it because he's definitely going to be trying to run for president here.
Yeah.
The next time. Yeah. So Trump trying to get ahead of that.
And with ICE. With ICE, that was the first, which is funny that, you know, we're not really talking about ICE anymore, even though that was like the big thing, wasn't it? He was coming at all the so-called illegals and everything and all that with ICE, and ICE has kind of died down, but ICE was, you know, California was the first state that ICE was, I believe when he was putting ICE back out here, California was the first state they deployed ICE agents through. So, you know, the only thing I've seen is the trucker thing we have talked about when it comes to illegals. But lately, I haven't heard anything about illegals since the war started up.
Shit, that name had got so dirty, boy, they had to hurry up and shut that shit down. I mean, it's like they scrubbed it off of all social media sites, but you don't see a picture of these motherfuckers no more.
Yeah.
Video or nothing. Like, they just disappeared, bro.
Yeah, ISIS definitely took a back seat, especially like Boss Man Jay said, how he doesn't, Trump's not very fond of Minnesota and the Somali community up there and all of the so-called government fraud that was going on up there with that daycare and all of that. But also, we know that, you know, 2 people lost their lives. And it seems that once the younger man lost his life there,
that nurse.
Yeah, and the nurse, they've dialed ICE back. Because I remember, I mean, I would look on my social media and, you know, people would be like, ICE is, you know, here, they're in this city now, they're in this, or they're over here, or da-da-da-da-da. And that was the main focus there for a long time. Then we had Venezuela. And then it seemed once Venezuela happened, it's like all this international stuff started popping off. But we all know why it really started popping off even more, because of the Epstein files.
Get them
damn Epstein files, man. Trump can't stand them Epstein files. And that's what we really need to get. That's what we, as an American people, if we can't come together with anything, we got to come together with the Epstein files, man.
But what can we do if we do come together when you got people like the director of the FBI and the president of the United States pushing for it not to come out or redacting everything?
Yeah, true. I guess I'm gonna say, let me word it in this way: we can't let our government forget about these files.
But that's what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, and it's funny you're saying it's gonna happen, because you know there was an article about the Department of Defense way back in, I believe, 08, 09, 2010, that they were sharing child porn images with each other throughout the Department of Defense. they were sharing videos and all this way back in the late 2000s going into the 2010s. But now they're trying to sweep it under the rug. Oh, this is old. So the Department of Defense was even in on all this stuff that you see in the Epstein files. They were even there. I don't know if the Department of Defense stuff is in the Epstein files, but this was an independent article from that. But so, like you said,
that's what they're afraid of.
Right. That's what you're saying, man. Sarkozy is what What are we going to? Because they're going to sweep it under the rug. Most people don't even know our Department of Defense is doing that with child minors.
The only way we can keep it relevant and keep it fresh on people's mind is that we never stop talking about it. Yeah. Because once people on social media start speaking about it and speaking more about this war, it's going to get buried deeper and deeper and deeper to where nobody's going to be mentioning it anymore. So you got to keep talking about it. You got to keep it fresh on their mind. You got to keep your foot to the government's neck because something got to be done. You can't let these people get away with this.
Yeah, it's because we're over here fighting, and we know what Trump is on. We know what these public officials is on. These people are sick. America need a whole reboot. We need a whole clean house. All these people need to be kicked out of their positions, and we need new people in there. I mean, we got people going into these government positions in wheelchairs because they so old. 90-year-old.
This is what we need to get rid of. All these old white men making laws and rules that are out of date.
We need to get them up out of here, bro. Some of these people is barely can stand in the Senate, in the Congress.
And then you got your president who's shitting on himself. Like these are the people that we got in power. Motherfucker that can't walk, can barely stay awoke past 5:30, and shitting on themselves. But you put a fucking child in front of them, they perk up.
Ooh.
That's the only thing to get them going.
Did you see Bill Clinton looking at those pictures?
You saw how excited he got? The man was shaking at first, can barely fucking hold that piece of paper in his hand. But boy, when he saw that picture, he grabbed that motherfucker fast. I ain't never seen that motherfucker.
The man took the picture from him. He grabbed it back. He wanted like whatever that picture was.
Remember, I don't want to forget again. Let me see.
You called it. You called it, Mayor. You called it. These guys get the thrill of these young children, man. I don't know how we don't put this together within our communities. How are we not seeing this? We seeing politicians. We seeing law enforcement. We seeing all these different people within the community messing with children. We seen Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow, a devout Christian. He's the guy that everybody in America, a far right winger, would love. They will say he's a man of God and he used this, that, and the third. Tim Tebow went in there and said the majority of the child pedo situations that we have are older white men. I forget the ages in which he said, but it was older white males. And he brought up a map of all of the places where the IP came up with child porn images and data. It was all throughout the United States. The whole United States was all red of where you could see these images popping up on people's computers on their IPs. So I mean, and he's fighting it. I mean, this dude is out there really trying to fight it and get the name out there. And everybody knows that's always been kind of his mission as a celebrity. He's used his platform to show this. So if this man is telling you this, and he's not going along with the agenda, we know that this is the number one problem here in America. But we over in Iran though. Worrying about whole other people and bombing them.
Ain't doing shit to us.
So it
They
shows you
were
it's
literally minding their business, doing everything that they wanted to do in their own way. And then here we
Well,
come.
they were sponsoring terrorism throughout the world. They were. They had Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen. So Iran wasn't totally, you know what I mean, just innocent. But it's always something.
But Mayor Socrates, you want to take us out tonight?
Hey man, don't y'all forget, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Choose life.